Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Time for a fact that makes your brain go. There's something you're doing right now that's making you lazy the rest of the day. And you can stop doing it, and this will end. This will definitely change your outlook on life, maybe make you more productive, especially going into the weekend. A lot of people think they waste their weekends by the time Monday comes. Going into the weekend, you don't think that. Like, I'm going to chill. I'm going to kick it. It's going to be great. And then I feel like I could have done so much with that time. So this makes you lazy. Kenzie thinks it's starting off the day by hitting snooze. It just sets the tone for you being a procrastinator. Case thinks it's touching yourself alone.
Again, I hate to work blue. It's a family show. I get it very early in the morning.
I thought you were going to say something political when you said that. I have never heard that before in my life.
Then I'm doing like blue state commentary.
You're like, hate to get all blue this morning. I'm like, oh, he's going to say something. Something about Fox News or something. What's he going to say?
That's so funny. You've never heard that phrase. Working
never.
blue.
Well, Kenzie's in her mid-20s. I would imagine most people in their mid-20s haven't
Exactly.
used that phrase. It's a me thing.
I thought she was in her mid-teens.
I'm almost an adult.
She's in her mid-aughts. She's 5 years old.
Yeah, mid-aughts.
All right, both those are wrong, by the way. And here's what it is. A lot of people guessed something like this on the text line, so it's not so shocking about your phone, but it's more than that. Also, someone said listening to the radio. Herm, how dare you? How dare you, Herm? Listening to the radio actually encourage you to go out there and do something, especially this show.
Yeah, we'll change your life.
But what is concerning and making you lazy is ChatGPT. Now, if you start the day with that, if you start using it, which people have started to become, getting on that and getting tasks of the day, going whatever you're going to do for the day, it's the danger of AI, which won Piece of Garbage Madness this year, if you remember correctly. So ChatGPT, they did a test on this. A study divided 54 subjects, 18 to 39, and they were split into 3 groups and asked to write an essay, basic forms using technology. So one group was asked to use ChatGPT. The other used Google. The third group used nothing at all. Very concerning on your brain activity of what happened to the people that used ChatGPT. When they went through the essays, they called the essays from the people that used ChatGPT soulless. Also, the people couldn't remember what they wrote when they were interviewed later.
Of course.
Because they didn't write it. They typed in, hey, what about this guy?
Correct. What about this?
I mean, of course they didn't remember what they wrote.
Yes, but they still had to basically go through and type it. They had to actually do the work besides using that as a tool to write the essay. They didn't just copy and paste it and put it and turn it in. They actually had to still write it.
But all of their research was done through there.
The research was done on it. So they still wrote it, but still didn't know anything about it at the end. The Google people actually did quite better. And obviously the people that used nothing at all, they really knew what they wrote because they used their brain. But they showed that over time, the lowest...
Would they go to a library or something? I mean, like, how would you just know all that information?
Some people know things, Kenzie. Some people know things about Abraham Lincoln, the World Wars.
Well, I want 100 pages on Benjamin Franklin using just your brain, Brian.
I could do that. I actually could pull that off. Now, what do you think you could do an essay on, just top of your head, like without any help from Google or ChatGPT?
Oh, that's an interesting question.
Mm-hmm. Think about that. Don't use ChatGPT to think about it.
Yeah. What would I be good at?
Like something you could do, I guess, 5 pages as an essay, maybe 1,000 words?
I think I could do that on Egypt.
Egypt?
Egyptian culture. Mm-hmm.
Is this from The Mummy?
No.
Watching the
But I
movie
do
The
love
Mummy?
Kenzie's like, I'm writing an essay on Egypt and it's a mummy review.
No. I think I could definitely do that on ancient Egypt. I've always been very nerdily obsessed with it, and I watched a lot of different docuseries and hieroglyphic breakdowns and all that stuff. I could do that.
Do you have a basis of how they built the pyramids? Do you think aliens did it?
That's all theory.
Yeah.
That's all theory.
Yeah.
There isn't a fact on how it was done.
Oh.
I think,
Obviously,
obviously,
aliens did it.
there was advanced technology that we going on back then. It's pretty obvious, personally.
Yeah.
Because one of the theories is a pulley theory, and it doesn't work because there is a couple structures basically on cliff sides that wouldn't allow the pulley theory to go into effect.
I like this essay. Keep going.
Thank you. No, I'm not going to keep going.
Have you ever seen the picture that people have taken, and it's on Google Images? There's a KFC right by the pyramids.
Is there really?
So you can take the picture of the KFC, and then the pyramids are in the background, and it looks fake.
Well, because it's just in Cairo, and Cairo's like buzzing downtown. Like, people think that the pyramids are like super far to get to, but they're right in like the downtown.
Yeah, I just didn't think there'd be a KFC in Cairo either.
A Cairo fried chicken.
Yeah. Wow. Nice.
I got my fastball today.
I heard a text to Crispy. Well, there you go. And also, they showed this by using ChatGPT over and over again, it rewires your brain to be lazier overall. Just in general, you'll try to do something without it, and it hasn't even been around that long, but it rewires your brain to be very, very low-level go-getter, if you will.
I think there's a collective effort in the world right now to make people dumber, which is really concerning to me. I was thinking about social media and how 10 years ago, people would wear fake glasses to appear smart. There was this concept that on social media, you were a wiser person than you really were. And now we're living in an era of brain rot where people are very okay with not knowing anything and being dumb. And it's really concerning to me. It's really concerning that I graduated college 4 years ago with no AI assistance, and now I'm hearing stories of people that feel like they couldn't get through college if they didn't have ChatGPT. That's extremely concerning.
Yeah, one guy just saw a graduate on the stand just like yesterday or a couple days ago, showed off how he cheated.
Yeah, I saw that too.
He showed off how he cheated all the way through college with ChatGPT, and he has his degree in his hand.
Yes, and we shouldn't.
And he's a surgeon. It's like, oh.
I think he's a radio host. I think
Okay,
he's a radio
good.
host.
I'm like, what is he gonna do?
Yeah, he's gonna be fine. Yeah, I don't think he's saving lives out there.
We should really be making a collective effort. Like, I'm not going to tell people they have to go out and read a book, but maybe read an article on your computer that was written by a human. You know, we used to have writers. It's this great thing. People would get paid to write all of these thoughts.
Read a magazine today.
God forbid.
If you can find a magazine, read one today.
Go buy the Time magazine history of the Beatles that's at your local Walgreens right now. Just do something.
Well, let's not get carried away. That doesn't sound so good.
I know. Just it's good to think.
Yeah.
It's good to use your brain. I'm a moron, but I like thinking.
You like the idea of thinking.
I love it. I'm all about it.
You just
I
can't.
don't know if people are okay with being dumb. Don't you think they just are? And it's like, oh.
No, I actually think there's a difference. I think people are now very much accepting and okay with the fact that they're dumb.
Like it's funny?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's actually considered lame to be knowledgeable and smart right now, which I don't like.
How brave of you.
You're really taking a stand out there today.
Okay.
Well, we live in a copy and paste generation on social where people get in arguments and say, you didn't know that, idiot. And then they just copy from Wikipedia. You didn't know it either. You just took some time to do it.
You Googled it in between?
Yeah, in a real debate, you have to do it face to face.
But
and
I
you
think
have
it's
the stuff
the
in your
opposite
head.
now. I think people are going like, oh, you know that? Oh, what are you, like, weird? Or is it so embarrassing that you would know something?
See, I'm like a little bit with Kenzie on that. I'm not seeing that as much as maybe you are.
Oh, I'm definitely seeing that.
That's obviously your feed. Just custom to you.
What do you mean by my feed?
The dum-dum feed.
Well, the problem is I think it's rage bait for you, and it just keeps showing up because you keep watching all these videos and you're mad.
Yeah, you seem pretty mad. You know what? You should be happy that you're smarter than the dum-dums.
You know what does suck, though?
You could be the leader.
It doesn't happen so much on TikTok, but, like, I don't know if you guys have seen Reels on Facebook and Instagram. The comments are, like, unhinged. People are so mean, okay? And, like, people will post, like, I don't know if you know this, but it's a little life hack if you don't. They're not saying they discovered something. They're not saying they invented something. They're not saying that, like, they're just saying if you didn't know it, like, oh, look what happens if you do this. Or look how you can transfer, between these two apps. And there's always a bunch of old people in the comments like, wow, are you just discovering this? Did you think you invented this? And be like, I was just trying to help show people because not everyone knows how to do it. Like, I've known how to do it a long time. And it's like, I think social media has changed how people like, I can't post this because everyone's going to say that. So people aren't even sharing things the way that they could because they're going to get roasted for thinking they discovered it. I've been doing it for 15 years. You just started this? It's like, no, I was just showing people. It's crazy.
That's the dum-dum feed.
Yeah, Brian's the one leaving those comments.
Yeah, I love doing that. Just like I liked in AOL chat rooms back in the day to cause a havoc and make people leave the room. That's my version today in the comment section.
Ew.
Yeah, I know, it's me.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. and Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. It's 8 o'clock. It's Friday. It's time for Case's movie review. Let's do it.
For Christ's sake, tomorrow's the 4th of July, and we will be open for business.
What country you from? What ain't no country I ever heard of? They speak English and what?
Utah. Give me 2.
Do you enjoy pain?
Pain don't hurt.
Wax on, right hand. Wax off, left hand.
Now fry like bacon, you little freshman piggies. Fry! Fry!
Playing football in West Canaan may have been the opportunity of your lifetime, but I don't want your life.
Well, the text line blew up not only for 21 Pilots a few minutes ago, but the calls and the texts have come in for this one, which, dare I say, might be the most highly anticipated review of the entire year and a half of doing Case's movie reviews, because arguably the greatest Chicago movie of all time, The Blues Brothers, and Carl from Arlington Heights checked in and said, Case, if this review doesn't go the way I think it should, watch your back. We don't want violence. We're not condoning violence on this show. So Carl and your team in Arlington Heights, you have ready to move on this. Just go, slow it down, slow your roll. We'll see what happens here. Case is 26 years old and hasn't seen a lot of movies. And to see a 45-year-old movie, it's the 45th anniversary of the Blues Brothers, June 2nd, 1980. The budget was, I can't believe this was the budget when we get into this, only $27.5 million. The box office did $115.2 million. Rotten Tomatoes has it as 72% rating based on 92 reviews with an average of 7.5. And just to work a little bit ahead before we get to the Blues Brothers, next week, the 35th anniversary of Tom Cruise's vehicle, Days of Thunder.
That's right.
Let's go, race fans. And that's also in tying in with the release of the F1 movie. But the Blues Brothers, this is absolutely one of my favorites of all time, so I'm nervous about this review. I was jealous you got to watch it for the first time. John Belushi, so Chicago. And Case, what did you think of the Blues Brothers?
Let's start with the trailer like we always do.
Here it is. 45 years ago, this is what ran on TV.
John Belushi, Jake Blue.
Walk through a party in the county jail.
Dan Aykroyd, Elwood Blues, the Blues Brothers.
They smell bad.
You are such a disappointing pair.
You contemptible pig.
He better pray the police get to him before we do.
Dan Aykroyd, John Belushi, the Blues Brothers, a musical comedy, rated R. Now playing at a theater near you.
First off, I can't believe the trailer, the first audio piece they use is, they smell bad. There's so many clips they could have used, and I couldn't believe that was the first one. Also, Carl in Arlington Heights checked in again. He goes, I mean it, about watching your back if this review doesn't go well. I'm not trying to pressure you, because we like your honest opinion of looking back. You're 26. This movie came out 45 years ago.
Blues Brothers.
Oh, boy.
Chicago film. John Belushi, people like him. Dan Aykroyd, people like him. Quite the legacy on this movie. I get it. I understand. A lot of hype coming into this. I gotta say, Blues Brothers, funny movie.
Okay.
Funny movie. All right, guys. This was good stuff.
Carl in Arlington Heights getting out of his truck right now.
Stand down.
Everybody stand down.
The National Guard's outside of NBC Tower right now.
I just don't know if you're being honest right now, if you're scared to die.
No, I'm scared of a guy named Carl from Arlington Heights. I gotta say, I really am. I'm a little scared.
Here's the thing. I can't believe this movie actually works. I can't believe that I liked it. I feel like the legacy of this movie should have been, hey, remember right before Belushi died when he made that weird blues movie with Aretha Franklin and Ray Charles and they crashed 100 cop cars? Wasn't that a sad way to go out? Like, there's nothing about this movie that should actually work. And yet I found myself for almost the entire movie. Of course, I have nitpicks. We'll get into them. But I found myself for almost the entire movie thinking, my God, this is a really funny movie.
Yes, it is.
It's bizarre. It's about two guys, one of whom is a felon. I don't think we know why he was in prison. But two guys from Chicago who have to reform a blues band to help an orphanage pay off their back taxes. Which is like, all right, I guess I'll play along with this.
No, when you say it like that. Yeah.
It's a bit of an odd plot, much like Tommy Boy.
The plot is so weird. It is so strange.
And they got to get the band back together. And along the way, we run into Aretha Franklin, who runs a soul food restaurant, and she's hilarious in this movie. I actually didn't realize it was Aretha Franklin at first. I was like, who is this funny gal? What else has she been in? And then you've got you got Ray Charles running a music store. He's blind and he's hilarious when they're promoting the concert and he puts up the poster upside down. I don't know if it's ableist of me to laugh at that, but boy, did that get a big laugh out of me.
Just calm down with all your beliefs and let that joke go. It's so funny. So funny.
It's all really good. Fun fact, I got a few fun facts for you. Fun fact about Ray Charles and the music store that he's running in this movie. You remember the little kid who tries to steal one of the guitars and Ray Charles shoots at him?
Yes.
Okay, do you know who that kid is?
Oh, no, that kid's someone famous?
That kid is somebody famous. Kenzie, do you have any idea who the little kid was who tries to steal the guitar in this movie?
No.
Let me take a guess.
Uh-huh.
Is it Gary Clark Jr.?
It's not Gary Clark Jr.
No.
Is it?
I want to go see a picture of him.
Yeah, take a look, Kenzie. Well, I guess
like the kid.
I imagine Google has to have an image. Is it Dave Chappelle?
It's not Dave Chappelle. It's an actor who's been in a movie that I reviewed for this show.
Oh my God! I didn't think that kid was.
Well, that's a lot of movies.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't even get there after those two.
The kid who tries to steal the guitar in Blues Brothers is Argyle from Die Hard, the driver in that movie.
What?
I know.
What?
I know. Isn't that fun?
Oh my God!
That's so much fun, isn't it? He basically.
Oh my God! I'm thinking of Braveheart. I go, what driver in Braveheart?
Die Hard.
Oh my God, Die Hard. I get those words.
They're all different words.
No way.
Yeah, isn't that fun?
Wow.
What's his name?
His name is Devora. There are a few different letters in there. I don't know how to pronounce. Devora White.
White's easy.
White's
I'm
easy.
on the cast now. I want to pull him up.
All right. Well, let's not get distracted on the driver from Die Hard, who's in 30 Seconds of Blues Brothers.
Oh, I'm distracted.
The other fun fact I want to mention, Brian.
Devereaux.
Sure. Yes. You mentioned the budget was $27.5 million.
Yes.
They had, and I'm not kidding when I say this, they had a built-in cocaine budget for this film, which makes sense. This entire movie is, I guess, a chef's kiss to doing cocaine. The plot makes no sense. When Dan Aykroyd turned in the script, it was 324 pages.
Oh my God.
For reference, for those that have never written a movie script, the general rule of thumb is 1 page equals 1 minute. He turned in a 324-page script, and the studio was like, knock yourself out. I guess go for it.
Wait, before you continue, they had a cocaine budget.
They had a cocaine budget for this movie.
What are we doing wrong now in 2025?
This
like
is
everything?
This is woke. We can't even have cocaine budgets in movies anymore.
Now, sadly, John Belushi died and didn't survive the drugs.
Wait, like they had the cocaine budget just for the staff to enjoy, or like for it to be in the movie?
No.
Like a prop.
There's no cocaine in this movie, which as you're watching it, you're thinking, they should at least show these guys doing cocaine. It's so obvious everybody's on drugs in this movie, but it was behind the scenes the budget built in for cocaine.
But let's not brush past how Kenzie said that. Did they have cocaine on set for the staff to enjoy?
I don't know how to describe it.
That was a great way to describe it. You know.
Okay.
There's so much fun stuff in this movie. We got some audio I want to play here in just a second. 708 brings up a great scene when they're in the steam room negotiating, and then they cut to the band. The whole band is in the steam room. That's super fun. The big thing for me, being somebody from Indiana and knowing specifically where Kokomo, Indiana is, they once had a great skate park there. I miss it dearly. Bob's Country Bunker. To me, that is the scene of this movie. For as great of a set piece as Chicago is, for as great of a set piece as, say, the Men's Hotel is, or any of the concert venues they play in, it is Bob's Country Bunker that feels the most lived in, the most real, the most interesting. I wish The Bear was taking place in Bob's Country Bunker. I can't believe there isn't like a Netflix drama series, in the same way that when I watched Pretty Woman, I said, why are they not doing a prequel TV series with Julia Roberts as the prostitute? They need to have a spinoff series all about Bob's Country Bunker. And I think the scene when they walk into the bar and they say that they're the band, one of the biggest laughs of the entire movie for me.
Well, now, what can I get you boys? You thirsty, you hungry, or are you just driving through? Maybe like a beer or something a little harder? Hey, you know, we happen to make the state's best pepper steak.
No, thank you, ma'am. We may be sucking back a few beers a little later on. We'll be here all night. You see, we're the band.
You are? Oh, gee, that's nice. Hey, Bob, this is the band.
All right. What kind of music do you usually have here?
Oh, we got both kinds. We got country and western.
Now, I can tell you, at working at Q101 now for about 13, 14 years, every band, I don't care if it was Metallica, I don't care if it was 21 Pilots, a brand new band, give me one, like Bad Flower, I don't care.
Sure.
Any of the bands that come to this building, they'll almost always repeat that line when they come in the Q101. What kind of music you guys do here? And I'll say, we do both kinds, country and western, and they all die. Everybody knows that scene. Every musician knows that scene.
I finally understand the reference. I'm so glad. See, movies are great.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I had no idea. They're awesome. Now, I want to talk about the funniest scene of the movie, and unfortunately, I do have some issues with the movie I do want to discuss, but I know we have to take a break. Look, I'm an equal opportunity offender. I'm going to talk about the things I love. I see Jillian on the text line. She's going, hello, the mall driving scene. Jillian, we'll get to it. We'll get to the things I liked and the dislike, but I know we got to take a break.
Yeah, we'll take a break. We'll come back and finish the review of The Blues Brothers, arguably the greatest Chicago movie of all time. And I'll give you a tidbit on how this movie took down the biggest mayor in the city.
Give me a tidbit.
Well, when we come back.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning, and Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning, and Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101. We're in the middle of the review of The Blues Brothers from Case, who saw it for the first time on its 45th anniversary. Oh, so good. And a lot of relief. A lot of people standing down on the text line. They were on their way to the station to, I don't know what they were going to do to Case if the review went poorly. But so far it's going pretty good. Liking the movie, enjoying it as we're going through all the Chicago scenes. And a lot of people checking in with things that, they know about the movie. Tyler checked in from 630. My brother has a replica of the Bluesmobile with the speaker on top.
Good Lord.
If you guys ever
That's a very big piece of memorabilia. That's big.
He says if you guys ever need to rent it for events, he's in St. Charles.
Oh, good to know.
So hit him up.
All right, we'll get right on that.
All right, Kate. So back to you.
Sounds a little fun.
So we've gotten through Bob's Country Bunker. If you just joined us, so if you don't, think we missed that scene, that was a whole monstrous part of the whole thing.
Talked about that. Talked about how much we loved when they drove through the mall and very casually pointed out all the stores in the mall. That was very fun.
Pier 1 Imports.
Baby clothes. Man, they got everything here.
The new Oldsmobiles are in.
It's great. I love it. And I'm all about it.
And what about that mall? There's a fun fact about that mall.
Oh, well, that mall was in Harvey, and it had been closed down for 2 years before they shot the movie. So it was a real mall that they shot in. And all of the stores that are mentioned in this movie, all the stores that are seen were paid advertisers. So Pier 1, for instance, paid to be in the movie and paid to have their store destroyed.
That's hilarious.
Which is excellent.
Didn't know that.
Again, a lot of things to like about this movie. The big takeaway for me is all the cameos in this movie. Again, Aretha Franklin, that funny gal, didn't know who she was at first. Turns out she was a delight. Ray Charles is great. James Brown is great. John Candy, a man I'm not super familiar with, but a guy who I always enjoy when he pops up on camera, and I love as the multi-car pileup is happening, and John Candy winds up inside of a truck. I love this line so much.
Hi. Want to hand me the mic? Thanks a lot. Hi, this is car, what number are we? 55. Car 55. We're in a truck.
John Candy isn't in it that much, but the lines he has of like orange whip, 3 orange whips. Again, a line I've repeated 1,000,000 times in dad joke form at golf courses everywhere. Oh, man.
I'll end with my favorite joke in the movie, but before we get there, I do have a few critiques. I've watched a few movies now. I have an opinion. It is definitely a movie from 1980 because there's multiple things they could have cut down. This is a movie that's over 2 hours long. Realistically, I think I could have gotten it down to an hour 45 pretty easily. Just Belushi leaving prison in the opening scene is almost 10 minutes long. And it's 10 minutes when nothing happens. It's crazy.
It's okay. It's fine.
My big complaint in the movie, for as much as I like all these cameos, again, Candy is great, Franklin's great, Charles is great. I could have cut every Carrie Fisher scene out of this movie.
What?
It's not funny. I don't get it. It's a complete distraction. Here's the rub with Blues Brothers. There might be one too many antagonists between the cops, the good old boys, the bar owner, the Nazis.
The Illinois Nazis.
And Carrie Fisher. I think we could have done with one less group chasing after the Blues Brothers, and I would like to strike Carrie Fisher from this movie.
You know, Case, I do have to point out that often when you complain about like what you don't like in a movie, even if you like the movie, you pick on the woman. That's part of it.
Well, typically I find the women roles to be underdeveloped and poorly written. A lot of them, I think, just come across as like a guy trying to write from a woman's perspective. That's normally my complaint here.
I understand that, but you're never like, wow, I wish they would have given her more. You're always like, she shouldn't have had a job or been there. Like, it's like, come on.
I disagree with that on a general principle. I do find the Carrie Fisher thing here to be random in a way that I don't think holds up at all.
But let me interrupt and defend it a little bit, because that's why it's so ridiculous at the end when she's explaining. Finally, you figure out why she's trying to kill him, who she is and why.
Yeah.
And she's some apparently rich debutante that had, and Dan Aykroyd then realizing, wait, I don't know my brother at all. He's learning about his brother almost married this woman. And that's why she's been chasing him and trying to kill both of them the whole movie. That's funny.
So you mentioned the cocaine I mentioned earlier. You see, that is very, very clearly a cocaine-driven storyline.
It's the best when she goes, for my brother, for my father, for my grandmother, I now will kill you.
Yeah, again, I think Aykroyd did a line of cocaine and then was like, what if he has a love interest? What if it's Carrie Fisher? What if Carrie Fisher is a flamethrower?
Oh, I love it.
All right, it's enough of that.
We will agree to disagree on that.
The great thing is, again, my favorite stuff from this movie, the elongated car chase with all the crashes, all of that is so funny. When they finally get to the Cook County Assessor's office and they have to barricade the doors, I found all of that to be so funny because they hold it on one camera angle. It's a stationary camera, and you can see these guys leaving the frame and then coming back with benches and trash cans and things to barricade the door. They have to do it again once they get to the floor that the assessor's on. And all of this is building up. It's a very long scene. I mean, it's almost 10 minutes of them just getting to the assessor's office. And all of that happens, and then the Cook County assessor has a sign on his door that says, "Be back in 5 minutes." I lost my mind at that. That was absolutely fantastic. Then they finally get there, and then all the guns are pointed at them, which is such a great camera shot as well. And we end with Blues Brothers there with them back performing in prison. I tell you, it is a really funny movie. Now, it's got its flaws, but it's a funny movie.
Before I give you a rating, I'll give you the stuff about Chicago there that were so impactful. And I don't obviously remember this, but a lot of people that have been around a long time do, that the Daley family did not like movies being filmed in Chicago. Richard Daley, the first Daley of the mayor of Chicago, of the Daley family. So Richard, the dad, Richard J. Daley. So they didn't have movies, and they didn't like movies coming to Chicago, which is why that scene you're talking about at the end with all the guns and taking over, it was Daley Plaza. So they did all that as kind of a little bit of a Hollywood saying, hey, man, we can film a movie here. We're going to trounce all over Daley Plaza. Now, John Landis was the director, and the current mayor was Jane Byrne. And apparently she was so welcoming the movies, John Landis asked for everything. He said, hey, can we have soldiers attack downtown Chicago and film a scene with like 400 soldiers rappelling off the buildings? And she said yes to everything. And he was like, oh, my God. We're going to ask for like a 300-car pileup on 95. We're going to do 95th Street and the bridge, everything they did. And he kept asking, and she kept saying yes. Well, again, I wasn't around during this time, but apparently all those shooting scenes caused so much traffic snarls in the city and so much disruption that Jane Byrne lost the election. The next time her election came up, because
of the movie?
Because it was her fault. Because she let them take over the entire city, filming it for probably 6 months to a year, and it caused so many problems in the city. Now we have this masterpiece that is not only a tribute to the blues music, but to the city of Chicago because of it. But that was one of the reasons that she didn't win the next election.
Complicated
legacy,
of the Blues Brothers.
Harold Washington won after she did, the Harold Washington Library,
I love his library.
And Jane Byrne just let everything go. And in a good, she had a good heart to do that. I want movies to come here. But John Landis went like, well, we're going to do everything. And that's why we have that movie.
Wow, that's funny. It's like how The Departed was shot in New York, and then Boston found out that entire movie, which is about Boston, was made in New York. And they were like, we have to change that immediately. And then they made all these tax cuts and these tax credits for directors, and thus the town was filmed in Boston.
Wow.
It's amazing how that works out.
A lot of great fun facts today. Now,
fun facts.
So, your review. I'm happy it seems like you mostly liked it, The Blues Brothers. What are you going to rate this in?
Oh, what am I going to rate this in? I can't rate it out of the blues.
Fedoras? I don't know.
I don't want fedoras. Maybe crashed cop cars.
There you go. Which, by the way, someone texted in and said, the movie company still owes the city of Chicago money for all the cars they wrecked. I'm not sure if that's true or not.
Oh, my God.
Which then give me the fun fact on the cop cars.
I got so many fun facts. At the time, it was the movie with the most car crashes for filming in the history of cinema. That was then beat in 2003 by Matrix Reloaded, a movie I have not seen and one that I do not want to see given my thoughts on the first Matrix.
You should see just that scene, which is also written and directed by, Chicago guys from Northwest Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Before I give my rating, real quick, I have breaking Chicago Cubs news that I want to get to after we play a song here. There's some news that just broke that I think is relevant to everybody listening. But
okay.
My rating for the Blues Brothers, 6.5 crashed cop cars out of 10. This is not a great movie, but it's a very good movie. If you haven't seen it before, you got to go see it. It's on Netflix. It's hilarious. It's not great, but it's very good.
I'm disappointed in that rating because I thought it was going to be at least a 7 from how you were enjoying.
Here's the thing. 8 is great. 7 is very good. I think it's a pretty good movie.
I don't like that rating. Carl in Arlington Heights is getting back in his truck. All right, so I don't even know what it is yet. So Case got this breaking Cubs news in 2.5 minutes. We'll give it to you after Dexter and the Moon Rocks. Brian and Kenzie, Q101.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.